we're back. My next guest is the host of his own talk show, Maury, and he's married to Connie Chung. Please welcome Maury Povich. Maury, I have to bring this up first because I see you. You live in New York.
Yes.
Not too far, actually, from where I live. And I see you and Connie around. I see you walking around, strolling arm in arm.
Are we conducting ourselves okay?
Yeah, very nicely. I was just curious. Are you guys a romantic couple? I think people want to know.
Well, not lately. I mean, see, here's the problem.
I don't want to know specifics, believe me. This isn't a group encounter.
There's a long history to it. I mean, we were very romantic, and then we got married, and then we went to this beautiful island, and then
what, like in the Caribbean or something?
Yeah, it was like Anguilla, in one of these exclusive islands. This is many years ago when there was no one there, and Connie found Jewish guys don't like sand on their schwantz, so that kind of cooled it for us.
Help me, somebody!
That was.
Do you want me to ask what a schwantz is or no? Just keep on trucking.
Well,
huh?
I think you'll.
Yeah, let's move along.
Something about cigars. I don't know.
All right.
Something.
Okay.
But lately it's
Maury, this isn't daytime. We're running a class operation here. This is late night.
Lately it's bad because she's got this big gig at 2020.
Yeah.
And so now they've co-opted all the daytime stories. I mean, we used to have these great stories in daytime. We used to have these great stories years ago in the Current Affair, and now all these primetime news magazines, and we're doing the same stories. We're going after the same stories. So there's a bunch of, like, whispering with our own phones. I got a line, and I'm whispering like that, and she's whispering like that. So we don't talk much anymore. So
that's not a phone. A phone is this thing right here. You're doing...
No, but you don't understand. You have to go like this and like this so she won't hear.
Gotcha. Okay, I gotcha. So
and now
you're basically saying you guys are competing with each other. That's probably not good for the romance.
I mean, it's so bad now that we have a 3-year-old who can now talk, and he answers the phone, he comes over, he goes, "Dad, it's for you."
Tell us, how did you like your baby when it was first born? Did you hate it, or when it was first born, were you unhappy with the look of the baby?
The head was bad.
Bent head, that's a problem. You have said in an interview that you have a hard time watching yourself on television.
I'm not, well, I won't. Do you watch your tapes?
Yeah, we just talked about that earlier. I can't get enough of me.
I will not watch myself. First of all,
now I'm really going to love tonight's tape. That's going to be a good one.
No, I don't. I mean,
what don't you like about yourself?
I don't like my nose. I mean, it's big, and it's always been big, and it's getting as you get older, it gets bigger, and the lines are coming in like crazy, and the gray is coming in. And I lost my butt, and it's just terrible. You don't understand.
On that Caribbean island?
Older guy. Older guy.
It's in the sand somewhere. What do you mean you lose your butt? What happens to... I'm not...
As you get older, your body starts to change. I mean, you don't know that?
Does the butt change? I didn't know the butt changed.
I think so.
Men get a gut, but your butt is your butt,
Well, if it's coming out here, you got to lose it somewhere.
You're saying your butt moves forward and comes out the front?
You don't think so?
Time to scratch my ass. There we go. Everything. No, that's.
First of all, I don't believe
You've really clearly lost your mind.
I don't believe I'm talking about. Why? I'm on a show with Lisa Kudrow, and you're talking about my butt?
You were out here talking about your schwantz a second ago. Parading it around for everyone to see. Look at my schwantz. Look at my schwantz.
That's daytime, and I love it.
Let's talk about daytime for a second.
Why?
We got to talk about Jerry Springer.
Why?
Because he's a phenomenon in daytime.
Yes, he is. And he works for the same company I do, so.
And he's got all the kids talking.
Yes, he does.
That's kids talking. That's how it. And he released this tape called "Too Hot for TV."
Right.
And it was bought by over 600 million people.
I looked
up the figures. I just made up that figure. I was lying. Are you going to do the same thing? Are you going to release a tape?
No.
Of all the stuff you couldn't show?
No.
Schwantz and the button?
Blank. Nothing.
Why?
Bars and tone. Nothing. Blank.
Why?
There's nothing there.
Really?
Next to Jerry?
Well, maybe you should incorporate more of that stuff into your show. Have you ever thought, like, I'm going to start hitting people with chairs and having camels come on the show and take off their clothes?
No, I can't do that.
No?
No, I mean, you just can't do that. I mean, I'm a respected talk show host. I'm not like Jerry.
Okay. We'll go with that defense for now.
Okay.
Talk about yourself way back when, as a young man.
When I liked my butt?
Yes. Let's go back to the early days of your butt.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to ask you about, I was reading an article about you today, and you were describing yourself in college.
Yes.
And you were describing yourself as a real hipster, a real cool daddy. Is that the case?
Well, in a way. I mean, it was back like in the late 50s and early 60s, and there were a lot of beatniks going on in Bohemian, and that. I thought that was cool, and I went to a university where everybody was rich, and I wasn't. I had one black pair of chinos and one turtleneck, and I had a guitar, and I only knew 2 chords. Mm-hmm. And the only reason I had the guitar was because it was for the chicks. If I could get the chicks with the guitar. And I just kept playing this old Pete Seeger song all the time. The only...
Wait, you'd walk around with the guitar?
Yes.
You'd you'd be in the cafeteria with the guitar singing the song?
In class with the guitar, which is why it took me 5.5 years to get through the University of Pennsylvania.
And did it work? Were you a real swinger? Did you have the love beads and everything? Or this is before love beads?
This is before love beads.
This is when they had bongos and a beret,
I mean,
right?
yeah, this was back in this was back in Pete Seeger and the Weavers, and Dylan was just beginning and things like that. No.
Right. Jacob Dylan. Yeah, just starting out.
Remember him?
Yes. I like his early stuff, the first album. I want to talk about one more thing before we go, which is this controversy that's been dogging you. You did a show where you exposed magic tricks. You had magicians come on, and you exposed magic tricks and showed, what is the point of doing something like that? Isn't that kind of ruining? I mean, none of us really think that the rabbit just came out of the hat, you know?
The magicians do.
Well, of course they do. That's part of the act. That's the fun for kids.
Death threats. There were death threats, first of all, about the magician that exposed everything on the show. Death threats to me. Death threats to Chung, of all people, as if she had some part to do with it.
Her name's Connie. You what the hell? That's your wife. No wonder there's an intimacy. No wonder the Schwantz ain't happening for you, pal. You call her Chung. Hey, Chung, get in here. Let's go.
You know your friend Jimmy Burrows? Yeah. You know Jimmy Burrows, who directed Cheers? I mean, who directed Friends, right? First director of Friends? Yeah. He calls her the Chunger. He won't even call her Chung. He calls her Chunger. So don't tell me Murphy Brown called her Chungster.
You just turned your back to me. Thank God your ass is on that side, because I'd have been offended. But this is over.
Okay, thank you.
But that's how I end all my interviews now. This is over, so said Moses. But Maury, the show, of course, check your local listings. It's a syndicated show. Check the local listings.
At least you didn't have me on with RuPaul. The last time it was RuPaul.
Right. Well,
now you gave me Lisa at least. That's terrific.
Exactly. And next time you got to come on with Chung. We got to get her on. Maury Povich, everybody. We'll be right back with Vic Chestnut and Lamb Chop. Our program for the night. I do want to thank all my guests. Maury Povich, thank you for being here. Nice to have you with us. Our thanks to Lisa Kudrow for being here. Our thanks to Vic Chestnut and Lamb Chop. I thought that was pretty cool. Got your Andy Richter, you have your Max Weinberg at the Max Weinberg 7. Stay tuned for Friday night's 5th anniversary show. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.